What's good, everybody? Welcome in. Oh, it is Look Ahead Tuesday here at the Brand. It's hard to believe that week 4 starts today in the National Football League. This is Coaching Company, and this is where you start your day. We are live on Stadium and also Bally Sports Live, Amazon Prime, DirecTV, YouTube TV. The list goes on and on, available in over 100 million homes. Plus, we just have a good time. We like to laugh, learn, educate, and entertain. Now, we always start before we look forward. Looking back. And even though I sucked on Monday, we still had a good day on the morning show. 6-4. You know our motto, just win more than we lose. And we did that yesterday. Raphael and I's 2-0 day. Both of my games yesterday lost by a single run. Also, last night, what an incredible Monday night football game. Raphael nearly hit the exact score, 38-30. The over easily came in just like we thought that it would. And a lot of big-time performances. Amon-Ra St. Brown hit both of his. So it was nice. It was a nice day at the Brand, a lot of fun. But that was week 3. This is now week 4. Now, every single day is busy at the Brand. In addition to our morning show, we have a live podcast at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Also, premium and extra episode. Then at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 to 4, Sirius XM, Off the Ropes with the Coach. We talk everything pro wrestling, and at the same time on our Coaching Company YouTube page. Weekday wagers, it is DG, Mark, Robbie Hockey, and the crew. You can also catch the Coach and Bro Show. I just looked at the numbers from yesterday, and they are absolutely amazing. You guys are so into that show. It's absolutely crazy. So thank you guys for the support. And you can also learn a little bit if you want to catch the Monday Night Grind. And yes, Big Tommy C, he put another one out there. What am I talking about? You got to go watch it to find out. All right, coming up over the course of the next 60 minutes, Tuesdays, they are very special here. We sound off. We take a listen to some of the best sound from the weekend in sports. Also, fantasy forecast. My guys look ahead to some of the players that maybe you should play or sit. And then coming up in about 30 minutes, we look ahead to 4 of the biggest games in week number 4, including Micah Parsons returning to Dallas. And the number on this game, it might shock you a little bit. So we'll discuss that at the bottom of the hour. But today, admittedly, full transparency, a little bit under the weather. So I need some help. I need my guys. And there they are. It's time to beat the books. Okay, no new member in the Legends Lounge last night, but we had a legend go 2-0. So he gets our 15 seconds this morning. Rafael Esparza. The floor is yours, sir.
I thought at the end of the show I did say 38-30 on Monday Night Grind. So I think that gets me into the lounge, if I'm not mistaken. How do you not pick a correct score? That doesn't work, but I'll take the 2-0 day instead of going into the lounge because money's always more important than drinks.
Said nobody ever. 38-30. Did you say 36-30? Wasn't it 36-30?
I have to go rewind the tape.
We're going to have to go check the tape. You were really close. I think
I was close.
Jameer Gibbs, what are we doing? Next, he is in class every single Monday night. I feel for him, but alas, most of us have been there. I say most. Live from Dallas, Fort Worth, and the campus of TCU, the Horned Frogs. Say good morning to King Lettuce, young Peyton. What's good, man?
Morning, guys. So you got one of the best running backs in the world. You give him the ball on the 1-yard line 3 times, and you can't score. Like I'm not talking to Derrick Henry. I'm talking to the offensive line, the offensive coordinator, head coach John Harbaugh. You can't drop away to get 1 yard out of the best running back in football. Absolutely pathetic. And the Ravens defense looked terrible last night. This team is nowhere near where they should be right now.
Did you have Derrick Henry anytime touchdown last night? Is that why you're bitter?
I did. He got a touchdown, but the Ravens lost. I'm upset about it.
Oh, I always forget you're the Ravens guy. How do you allow 7 sacks on the most elusive quarterback in the league, by the way?
Unbelievable.
It truly was. It truly is. 7 sacks. 7. All right, next. He's got the best damn beard in the game. Soupy, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. I give you guys fantasy football advice. I'm going to kind of take a victory lap. I was projected to be down 20, lose by 20 last night. I had a guy named David Montgomery do well for me. So we got a nice little win there.
You came back? You
Oh,
came back?
That
Boy.
72-yarder clinched it.
Boy, that was a great run. The coolest video I think I've seen all year. Did you guys watch the replay? That he was running, he looked up at the big screen to see who was chasing him and then took a left. That was freaking awesome. Well done, Soupy. Well done. Now, this man, last night, we thought we might middle it. We didn't. He cashed the first quarter over in about 3 minutes. Mikey P from SureDog USA. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, let's look ahead to week 4. It was a very entertaining Monday night game. I didn't have as much luck as Peyton or Raph or Soupy or Coach, but here we are. We look ahead to week 4. I'm ready to go.
All right. Well, let's get to it. We've got a lot of best bets today. This is going to be winning day number 2 after a winning day on Monday. So, I've got a question for all 4 of you. Sorry, Raphael. Just $1 short today. All right, Soupy, you want all the smoke. Start us off. Best bets. Go.
I'm starting with the biggest series of the weekend, the Tigers. They held a 10.5 game lead heading into September. It's down to 1. And they're playing the Guardians, who are just a game behind. It's Tarek Skubal, Gavin Williams, but I'm giving Gavin Williams the edge. He's going to get 6+ strikeouts tonight. He's done that in 3 of his last 4 starts, including 9 against the Tigers. And right now, the Tigers have the 8th worst strikeout rate in September. And I'm going to go with another important series, the Yankees. They're only a couple games behind the Blue Jays in the American League East. So they're playing the White Sox. They need to win these games. I'm taking them on the run line. Shane Smith for the White Sox, 4.59 ERA. And the Yankees, over their last 5 games, they've scored 6 runs in 4 of those.
You know, as bad as it feels like the Yankees have played, Soupy, they're still 20 games over 500.
Yep.
They're still having a really good year. By the way, on your Cleveland and Tigers, when one team goes 1-9 and the other team goes 9-1 in the last 10 games, that's an 8-game clip in 10 games. Absolutely amazing. Detroit, what are you doing? What are you doing? All right, good start, Soupy. Now I'm going to come right next door. Mikey P, best bets, go.
Well, another tight team in the NL is the Cincinnati Reds, and they've got Brady Singer on the mound today taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. They are tied with the Mets for the last wild card spot. So give me Brady Singer to mow down the Pittsburgh Pirates with 6 or more strikeouts at a -113. I think the Reds have to have this game, obviously, and I think Brady Singer will take advantage of the favorable matchup. And then going from the Central to the AL West, giving the Mariners -1.5 on the run line. They're taking on the Colorado Rockies. The Mariners have a 3-game lead in the AL West. This is a game you have to have. Let's go ahead and blow out the Rockies in this one.
And let's remind everybody at home, Mikey, that when we're betting on baseball at the end of September, really lean into teams that are hot and are motivated. And when I look at the Cincinnati Reds, they're tied with the Mets. It's hard to believe the Mets could miss the playoffs. I mean, a month ago, they were a lock, just like the Tigers were. But the Reds have won 5 in a row. The Mets have lost 2 in a row. So I like that momentum that the Reds have going. Gentlemen, great job. Now, my hottest guy from yesterday, Raphael, sporting is that the Coaching Company shirt? Is it?
Yes, it is.
Repping the brand. You 3 could learn from Raphael. All right, Raphael, best bets, go.
I'm on Seattle's Hawk Talk tonight for the Seahawks. Now be repping Coaching Company
Let's
with this
go.
tonight. What? You said the Mets are slumping, losing 2 straight, but you know what? They're playing my Cubs for the next 3 games, so that slump is now completely over. We're going to take the Cubs Mets under 7.5. Wind blowing in will lay to 3 nickels. Why do you ask? Since the Cubs popped bottles now that they're in the playoffs, they have lost 4 straight, and in those 4 games, they scored a total of 7 runs. Their bats have been completely quiet. With the wind blowing in, I think this game goes under the total. And Cade Horton for the Cubs is on the mound, who's been brilliant when he's pitching for Chicago. So I see an under game. And then let's say it all together. 1, 2, 3. Hey, ladies. That's right. We got some lady playoff basketball tonight. We'll take Aces Fever, both teams to score over 76.5. We'll lay the $1.20. Fever's last 4 playoff games, they're averaging 80 points a game. The Aces, 83 points a game. And the Aces lost at home last game. Ooh, what a beatdown. We'll see some points scored tonight.
What is the Fever doing? How are they playing so good? I know Caitlin Clark's been out for a while, but my goodness, they're beating all these really good teams without her. By the way, that might have been the first time that we've ever got the Hey Ladies correct. Although I did not hear Soupy, and I did not hear Mikey. Didn't hear you. You might have had yourselves on mute. I don't know. I think it was just me and Rafi. Maybe King Lettuce. All right. Speaking of King Lettuce, I've saved you for last today because coming off a night class, I feel like you're really in that grind mode right now. You're really in it 24/7. So bring us home, big dog. What do you got?
Yeah, I was up late last night getting these for you guys. We got the Marlins, Phillies, first 5, under 4.5, minus 130. We'll take the first 5 here because it's Edward Cabrera throwing for the Marlins. Phillies batters hit just 220 against him. And Christopher Sanchez going for Philly at home where he's undefeated this year and has an ERA of 2.22. Marlins hitters bat 170 against him. I like the under in Philly. And who knew the Marlins were just 4 games out of the playoffs, right? And we're going to take Cole Reagans to go over 6.5 strikeouts at minus 114. I am being serious, guys. You got to take any opposing pitcher against the Angels the rest of the way. The Angels strike out more than anyone in baseball. And 5 of the 9 guys in their lineup have barely seen major league pitching. And they got to face Cole Reagans. Reagans might strike out the first 7 he faces. I like him over 6.5.
I like him too. By the way, I see Flexin and Steppin in the chat said, hey, ladies. Soupy, I did not know you had an alter ego in the chat all at the same time.
Yeah, that's my heel version.
Interesting. Speaking of heel, look who just showed up. Marky Model from JTS. Mark, I need a stat. I need something that I can look at JTS and go, I kind of like that. Got anything for me?
I got you covered, Coach. Listen, week 3 in the NFL is in the books. And if you are following games where the line is 3.5 or less, so the spread is 3.5 or less, the model hit 6, 2, and 1 for week 3. Little tidbit going into week 4.
Yeah, carry the 2. That's 75%. That's 75%. It's not a bad number at all. What do we got today, big dog? What do we got today?
We are going with Minnesota Lynx, Alana Smith, to go over 10 points and rebounds. She's done this in 18 of the last 21 home games, and she's over in all 5 games against Phoenix, where she's averaging 15. And we're going to pair that with David Peterson of the Mets. Why? Because the Mets are in free fall, and David Peterson's a big part of that. We're going to take him to give up at least 2 earned runs. He has done this in 5 of his last 7 road games where he's giving up over 3. Put them both together, you get a plus 107. Just Stat Sports play of the day.
Feels good to me. There's that QR code. Come be a part of what we're doing. The site is growing literally every single day. If you guys knew the amount of effort that Mark and his team are putting into the site, it takes a lot. So let's support him and his team. $1 if you use our code NFL100. That's all the first 30 days is going to cost you. A single solitary dollar. You get all the stats, all the data, all of it. Cappers too. You see Mark's beautiful face. DG's, unfortunately. Robbie Hockey, he's a good-looking fella. So you get all 3 of them over there. Gentlemen, well done. I feel like today's going to be a winning day. All right, we're just getting started. It's coming up on the other side. We sound off some of the best sound from the weekend in sports. Also, it's time for our fantasy forecast. What players are my guys looking forward to this week that you should think about playing, or maybe a prop or 2? Then I've got 4 games that I have earmarked as big in week 4. We break them down coming up in about 25 minutes right now. Just get started. Coach and Company, presented by the 4-letter word club. Stadium, Valley Sports Live. Come on back.
All right, we're back here. Less than a week left of Major League Baseball games. Plenty of teams still in it, making it interesting. So it's time to go around the diamond. We're bringing in Mark from JTS. Mark, where are we headed today around the diamond?
We are going to a game that you're on as well, but we're going to go with the Philadelphia Phillies on the run line, -1.5. You can get that at -105. Look, the Phillies have already clinched a spot in the postseason. They did that back on September 14th. They won the following night, which clinched the NL East title for them. More importantly, with a win tonight against Miami, they can clinch a first-round bye and home field advantage throughout the NLDS. I love this spot for the Phillies to take advantage of an Edward Cabrera who's coming off the DL from an elbow strain. And that's typically what happens, or what pitchers call it, when you throw 4 innings and give up 6 runs on 3 home runs in your last start, which was against those awful Mets. I love this spot for the Phillies to take advantage of him coming off being a little rusty, win by at least 2. And then I'm going to go with Kobe Mayo to get over half a hit. We just need Kobe Mayo to get a hit. And no, this isn't Miracle Whip. I'm talking about Mayo, the real deal Mayo. He's the Oriole rookie first baseman who's locked in. He's been selling the Orioles for the month of September on why he needs to be in next year's roster, and he's making a hell of a case for himself. They moved him from third base when they pulled him up from AAA. He's now playing first. He's been out there working every single day on his glove drills, his positioning, the whole thing to learn the first base position. In the month of September, he's batting .286 with 3 home runs. I love this spot for him just to get a hit tonight, and that's your round the diamond.
No, I love that spot for him, Mark. You had you're the Phillies. Speaking of clinches, your San Diego Fathers last night clinched the playoffs. They're plus 1,300 to win the World Series. I got about 20 seconds for you. Is that worth a sprinkle, Mark?
No. As much as I love the Padres, no. They just don't have it this year. I would love to say yes, but logically, can't do it.
Wow, you couldn't do your own team? Oh my God, I'd put sprinkle on the Angels right now. Are you kidding me?
Don't give me that. You just faded the Angels for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah. We'll be right back on Stadium in a couple seconds.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm the coach. This is Coaching Company on Stadium Valley Sports Live. Thank you all for hanging out with us on Look Ahead Tuesday as we get set for Week 4 in the National Football League. But the one thing I love about the weekend in sports is when coaches either get pissed off, they get upset, they're happy, they make references that we really don't understand, but it's entertaining nonetheless. And we put it all in a nice little package we like to call Sound Off.
Well, I just think this league is such a week-to-week league, and you can never lose sight of that. And you can't take any moment, any game for granted. And the goal, and I've said it a million times to you guys, I don't think I've obviously said it enough to our team, the goal is to go 1-0 every week. And it pisses me off when we start talking about things outside of the next game, things that are way down the road. Like focus on, keep the focus on the present, on the now, and worry about getting better each and every day.
Is this a playoff caliber team?
The Cowboys?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you, yes. And it's because you saw number 4 out there today, and you saw what I think we're capable of doing in the running game and that type of deal. So, yes, I fully do. Now, we've got to, as we evolve toward the playoffs, we've got to get better defensively, certainly.
I don't care about what Vegas said. Nah, Vegas said Canelo was about to win, right? Shit, you know what I'm saying? Crawford said different, right? So, I mean...
What did Payne Durham say to you when he wrapped his arm around you in the tunnel?
Me and Payne have a relationship not many people know about, and we're secret lovers.
I'm going to eat some Haagen-Dazs coffee ice cream with my wife and smoke a Cuban cigar and then probably go to the hospital.
It feels like you're putting extra pressure on a young quarterback to be able to process a lot of things in a short amount of time. How do you get that fixed?
Yeah, Zeno, we're going to do a couple different things. First, I talk about the 2 different situations that happened. The first one was the noise in Minnesota. That was the big issue. You know, that's tough. You know, that was a tough environment, one of the toughest environments that you're going to play in. Yesterday was the headset tobacco, whatever we talked about with those type of things. But we'll move Zach down to the field to be able to get that little cleaner communication for him, to be able to get it to him if something does happen along those lines, to be able to be more visual and see the quarterback and be able to do some of those different things, to have him have a clear line of communication with Mike to be able to help him out a little bit more. And we definitely hold some responsibility in those things, and we'll go out and do those things. So.
Let that resonate for a second. I'm still stuck on Jerry Jones saying that Dak Prescott is the second coming when he went 31 for 40, 251 yards, and you would have thought he threw for 400 and they won the game. They lost by 17. Then he called out his defense. Good job, Jerry. Good job. All right. That always entertains me because you always know Tuesdays, by the way, that's kind of the off day for the NFL players. Don't come in or they come in for treatment, but they do not want to face those coaches who clearly were not happy. And Todd Bowles, don't need to hear that ever again. All right. I need to see my guys, not yet, though, because they are fired up and ready to go. The NFL is all about teams, yes. Spreads, totals, yes. But it's also about fantasy. It's about props. So we have another little thing we like to call the fantasy forecast. Is producer man, and as I say that, oh god, oh we're getting a Raphael clap. All right, we can give producer man a Raphael clap. I'm down for that. All right, gentlemen, here's how we're gonna do it today. Super, you're gonna start. Mikey, you're gonna piggyback Peyton. You're gonna bring it home. We have 2 players each, and you tell the good people at home why they should be playing in fantasy, or perhaps if you like the number, a prop this week. So, Soupy, my guy from Prize Picks, I want you to start us off. What first player are you looking at today?
Well, I'm looking at, you should be hesitant towards a player that has the boom game, that meaning like the huge performance. And I'm looking at Trey Tucker in specific, 8 catches, 145 yards, and 3 touchdowns. But I think that is just a one-off because there's 2 guys, Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers. They account for 40% of the target share for the Raiders. And Trey Tucker, he's only getting 22% of the first read targets. That's 48th in the league. So Geno Smith is continuing to look at Bowers and at Myers. Tucker is just that third option. I don't think he has that game again. It was just Washington doing really well at covering Myers and Bowers.
And coming off of the big James Conner injury, the probable most popular guy on your waiver wire is going to be backup Trey Benson, who leads the team in rushing for the Arizona Cardinals, who will play on Thursday. So get those claims in immediately. He's averaging 6 yards per carry. So can you trust him? I believe you can, because you can't trust Kyler Murray. So for that offense to get going at all, they're going to have to lean on a young back who was coming along nicely, and now he has to step up into a big role for the Arizona offense.
Let the Jackson Dart era begin, because the waiting around is getting ridiculous. What are we waiting for? They were just talking about bringing in Dart on Sunday Night Football. Chris Collinsworth goes, it's just tough. I'll tell you what's tough, Chris. Having your starting quarterback throw the ball to the player tunnel and another throw to the goalpost. That's tough. All while your first-round pick sits and watches a 36-year-old throw footballs out of bounds. We know they're not making the postseason. They know they're not making it. So these aren't games. These are reps. And reps against good teams are even better for him. So no props or anything. Just start Jackson Dart.
Bother anybody else. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but when Russell Wilson was drafted, this is how long ago he got drafted. I was working at ESPN, and I was in charge of doing the interviews on night 2 and night 3. He was a night 2 pick. 3rd round, I think, is where he got picked out of Wisconsin. And I remember saying to myself, man, he's got it all together. He is super polished. And sometimes when you don't get your hand in the dirt 12 years later, you're not somebody that people want to buy into. Does it bother anybody else that it doesn't seem to bother him when he throws an interception or when he does anything negative? It doesn't seem to bother him. It bothers me. I feel like I've been in the trenches. I was there night 1. Brutal. All right. Soupy, I need player number 2. Where are you headed now?
I'm going to kind of piggyback off of Peyton. I'm going with another giant, Cam Scatterbo. This is the week you need to grab him. Whether you trade for him, whether you spend a lot of your fab or a waiver claim, this is the week. Tyrone Tracy, he's going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks, but Scatterbo has been starting to outsnap him, outtouch him. He has the 6th most missed tackles in the league, 3.4 yards after contact. This guy is a bruiser, and he's the one bright spot that has been in this Giants offense. I think they are going to start to give him the ball a lot more. He could be a 15, 16, possibly a 20 touch guy. I think you need to have him in your lineup starting this week.
And for me, I'm looking at 4 wide receivers, not one player, Coach. 4 wide receivers who broke out, including your favorite, Tyquan Thornton of the Kansas City Chiefs. Give me Alec Amorno, excuse me. Wow, say that 7 times fast. Luther Burden, Tyquan Thornton, and Torrey Horton of the Seattle Seahawks. All of them scored. Horton having a punt return touchdown and a receiving touchdown. I like these wide receivers coming in, not so much as a wide receiver 1, but maybe as you look towards bye weeks, which will start in week 5, who can you get early that you may be able to plug and play throughout the rest of your season?
Omarion Hampton will break out in week 4 against the Giants. It looks like Najee Harris is going to be out for a while for the Chargers. So fantasy owners, if he's not starting already, Omarion Hampton, the Chargers' first-round pick out of North Carolina, is your RB1 this week. Najee goes down. They gave Hampton the ball 19 times on Sunday against Denver. He had 70 yards, and we can see that number in the triple digits against the NFL's second-worst run defense in the 0-3 New York Giants, who allowed 460 yards on the ground in their first 3 games. Omarion Hampton is going to be your guy in week 4.
That injury to Najee Harris was nasty. And it wasn't like it was like a broken leg or anything, but when you see it pop, you know how painful that Achilles is, and he's going to be done. Hopefully not for his career. Hopefully he can come back, but that's such a hard injury. How come teams refuse guys? When you look at a guy like Cam Scatterbo, we knew he's a beast. We knew how hard he plays. But yet when they get to the league, Soupy, this is your guy, they don't want to say, "Wow, he's worth a first, second, whatever round, like a high draft pick," because he's undersized. He's not super, super fast. But all he does is go out there and get busy on the ground and in the air. Why can't these teams have better scouting when it comes to players like him?
A lot of them, did think he was undersized, but you saw what he did at Arizona State. Guy was just an absolute beast, and he's a great dual threat. He can catch the ball too. The guy's he's one of those just old school type of bruiser guys who just wants to hit the trenches and hit hard.
And on defense, when you're playing against him, Mikey, it's a business decision on whether or not you want to crack him because his lower body has thighs like this. This dude is going to be I think a fantasy absolute lock for the next 5 to 6 years.
Not only that, he's going to be a fan favorite, even if you're not a Giants fan. He's a guy that everyone can get behind. And, Coach, you talk about business decisions and defenses and all of that. I'm ready for these NFL teams to start making business decisions like the Giants, bench Russell Wilson, like the New Orleans Saints, bench Spencer Rattler. Like, we know you're going to be bad. Just start playing guys who deserve a shot. Cam Scatterbo earned his. I want to see more players get their shot moving forward.
I do, too. I don't know what it is, Peyton, that the Giants, I know what it is. They have a veteran who won a Super Bowl, but that was over 10 years ago. This guy is not, there's a reason the Steelers let him go. Realistically, when do you think Jackson Dart comes in for more than one of his little packages of 3 or 4 plays, but actually starts a game and he is the guy?
Yeah, and they were just talking about this on Sunday Night Football. They say, well, you want it to be cupcakes and rainbows when he comes in for his first game and play against the Saints in 2 weeks or something like that. And I think that's what he's referring to, play against the Saints. And you play against a defense that there is no defense. No, play it. The better the team, the better the reps. That's what I was trying to get at. And that's what he should do because you know what? You're not expecting to win these good games anyway against these really good teams. Go ahead and get your young guys some good reps against some really good defenses.
And Spencer Rattler, I can't get past it in my head that he's the kid from the Netflix documentary when he played in Vegas. I'm like, that's all. I see a high school kid playing in the NFL. Maybe because he looks like a high school kid playing in the NFL. All right, gentlemen, good job. Hopefully you guys had your paper and pencil just like I did. Now, on the other side, we got 4 big games that we're going to break down, including Sunday Night Football. The football gods are shining down on us, the Packers and the Cowboys. We got it for you on the other side. This is Coaching Company, presented by the 4-Letter Word Club, Stadium, Valley Sports Live. All right, we continue on, you degenerates, here on our Coaching Company YouTube page. A little baffling is the word that Derrick Henry is using for last night. And guys, as we look at the Ravens, who after 3 quarters, week 1, we're like, this is the best team in football. Then they lose 41-40. They were averaging over 40 points a game. And last night, Raphael, let me start with you because this is always a numbers game. How far did they fall as far as Super Bowl favorites with that showing last night? It had to be something.
Oh, huge. Just because of their defense. When can we say we're talking about how bad the Ravens' defense are, not their offense? Usually we're saying, Lamar Jackson can't do it. He can't run, can't pass, can't throw. So it's all because of their defense. I think that has the biggest question marks. I think that's why people are not betting them to win the Super Bowl or to win the AFC.
Yeah, Peyton, I know you missed the first half because you were in class last night, but you didn't, miss all that much other than a late touchdown cashing the first half over. We like that. But your team, what did you see that gives you the most concern?
Yeah, I was able to watch the first half too, and just came across the fact that the Lions just plowed through them. I mean, what are we doing? They're just running right up the middle on our Ravens, and this is something that we used to pride ourselves. This is something that the Ravens used to pride themselves on, really, is defense and Roquan Smith and how awesome he's been. But he's letting guys go right through him, and it's really frustrating to watch because he's the second line of defense behind the offensive line. He goes by Roquan, then it's one-on-one against Marlon Humphrey and Kyle Hamilton in the back. And we saw David Montgomery go for 70 yards last night and get by all of them.
Mike, I got about 20 seconds for you.
How about this? Derrick Henry, first 3 quarters in his career, combined 9 fumbles. In the fourth quarter, 10. Let's be clutch, Derrick Henry.
Yeah, he's also the only running back in the league to fumble in each game so far this season. Nice job, Derrick Henry. And he almost fell on his ass, too, when he threw his helmet after the fumble onto the seat. That would have been even funnier. He kind of was funny anyway, the way that he fell. All right, it's time to break down week 4. Let's go. We're back live in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. Coaching Company. We just crossed the bottom of the hour. If you're watching us live in the East, it's 10:32. Out here in the West, it is 7:32. Just getting your day started. And we're so appreciative that you get your day started with us. Now, if you are a premium member, you get an extra episode every single day, 5 to 10 minutes, probably 3 to 7 or 8 extra picks to line your pocket. Scan that QR code. Also, in the next couple of weeks, we'll be adding some primetime shows as well. Once Maxion gets here, we'll be doing live betting. It literally will pay for itself. And also, do not forget that our merchandise store is live and ready to go. And Raphael's got his sweatshirt up there. And I've heard through the rumor mill that he puts this on, stands in front of the mirror, and practices saying, "Hey, ladies." I don't know if that's true. Don't know if that's true, but that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. All right, it's now time to look ahead. Normally, I just pick out 3 games, but this week there are more big games than I originally thought. So I need to see all 4 of my guys. And Raphael, I'm going to start with you because it's always about the number. There's a reason we do this on Tuesdays. And I want to start with a big one in Tampa. And I'm talking about the Eagles and the Bucks. And both teams are 3-0. Both teams have done it in not necessarily beautiful fashion. But the Eagles going on the road, they're giving 3.5, the total 44, Raphael, and then we're going to piggyback all the way around. Start me off.
This one's very interesting because we all know what the Eagles did to win their game on Sunday. This number opened up at 2.5, but the books told me that if the Eagles would have lost, this number would have been a solid 1 or 1.5. So now you're looking at a 2.5 point difference on the road. Don't forget Tampa Bay's at home in this matchup. Totally different outcome, totally different bet number.
Let me jump in real quick, Peyton, before you go. So you're telling me without the scoop and score at the end of the game, it would have been 1 because of that?
Yes.
It went up 2?
Yes.
Wow. Boy, that's kind of a number within the game because that was just a freak play.
I saw that play, and that's a day I'm like, oh, I'm glad I'm not working behind the counter because those are days like everyone's running up to the counter because we already have next week's games up.
Oh, and they want to beat it. They want to get to it. Makes a lot of sense. That's why we do it here on Tuesdays. All right, we're going to go Peyton, Soupy, and then Mikey. Peyton, what do you got?
Yeah, Baker's just an absolute competitor, right? The Eagles really looked slow against the Rams until that second half. Their offense started to spike up. But if the Bucks defense can hold up and keep this game within one score, I like Baker to keep it even closer and take the Bucks at plus 3.5. At home, it just seems like in any scenario, Baker gets the job done. So if this is a 10-point Eagles lead with 2 minutes left, Baker will get down the field and cover that 3.5 for you. He's been getting the job done. And why not a little sprinkle on the Buccaneers money line?
I mean, here's the problem, though. The Buccaneers might not have Mike Evans, who is still their best wide receiver. So what are the Eagles going to do? They're going to concentrate on the red-hot Emeka Egbuka. So they're going to need somebody else in that passing game. But I think it's going to more be the run game. They're going to have to establish the run. And when you take two teams who need to establish the run to win the game, I'm always taking the better running back. That's why I'm taking the Eagles. No problem. Minus 3.5.
Mike Evans is out, but is Chris Godwin in? That's the early report. And Tristan Wirfs, their all-star left tackle, will likely be back for this game as well. So I like the Buccaneers at plus 3.5. I like the over in this game as well. Chris Godwin coming off a serious injury, but another weapon for Baker Mayfield. If you don't believe Baker Mayfield's going to get up for this game, you just simply haven't been watching the NFL and his career. So I like the Buccaneers plus 3.5.
A couple things on this game. The Bucks are the first team in NFL history to score in the final minute of the first 3 games of the season to win. Think about that, to win. They give up a blocked field goal, scoop and score about 2 minutes after the Eagles did the exact same thing. And then Baker did exactly what the guys were just talking about. Came down, set up for a game-winning field goal. The over comes in, 29-27. It's all good. The Eagles, I have one of my producers on my SiriusXM show. He's from Philadelphia. Drives me insane. And so I said to him yesterday, I said, are the refs ever going to call a false start on the tush push? He goes, did we win? Did we win? I go, no, that can't be an argument when you're in sports. Did we win? You broke the rules. There's a false start every single tush push. And it drives me insane. Somebody's got to call it, or I'm going to keep bitching about it until they listen. All right. Game number 2. And speaking of two teams that really need it, this is a big one at Arrowhead. Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs finally get on the win column Sunday night against the Giants. The Ravens lose last night in a devastating fashion to fall to 1-2 also. So if I would have told you, Raphael, at the start of the season, both of these teams would be 1-2 and they meet in week 4, you would have told me I was crazy. What do you got?
Complete crazy, because you have one team that can play defense and one team that can play offense in this game. And just think if the Ravens would have won at home. Books told me they might have had to put up a 4 just because of how bad Kansas City has looked in offense. They thought, okay, let's say the Ravens defense shows up. They win easily on Monday night. Short week for them, but how bad is this Chiefs offense? It was probably would have been 3 or 3.5, probably bet up to 4. This one's very interesting. I still think the Ravens come back. I like them on the road. I think it's a good number.
Yeah, on paper, the Ravens are a better team with the better players, but isn't that what we said about the Ravens going into every game? And they continue to be favored game after game. They're not playing good football right now. They used to pride themselves on defense. That's gone. They bring in Derrick Henry last year. We all thought that was the answer. It clearly wasn't, and it clearly hasn't been this year. Derrick Henry's fumbled the ball in crucial situations multiple times. He's fumbled just 3 times the previous 2 seasons combined, and then 3 fumbles in 3 games already this year. He's 6'2", 250. Lamar Jackson's arm has been spectacular. Highest passer rating in NFL history, believe it or not, but the Ravens are not playing to their potential right now.
I don't know why that the Chiefs are not trying to establish the run game right now. They're only 23rd in run play percentage at 38%. They need to get Kareem Hunt or Brashard Smith or as Pacheco or Priest home. Need to get somebody working in the run game to balance out against the Ravens. Despite Derrick Henry's fumble problems, they're still going to give him the ball. That bounce, I think, is going to help, especially against the Chiefs that really are not putting much pressure on the quarterback. I think that the Ravens can get this done in Arrowhead.
I'm not sprinkling a little on the Chiefs money line. I'm throwing the whole mortgage at the Chiefs on the money line here because you likely get Xavier Worthy back for this game. And I don't care what anyone says about, oh, he was a bust in New England and somehow he's making his way here in Kansas City. Tyquan Thornton, another week of repetition with Patrick Mahomes and building that trust and that confidence. I think he could really take the top off that Baltimore secondary. And I think we're going to start seeing Patrick Mahomes really come into form with some new weapons. And And as far as the defense goes, if they gave up 7 sacks to the Lions, what do you think Steve Spagnuolo is going to have dialed up for that Baltimore Ravens offensive line?
No doubt about it. I'm telling you, this could be a blessing in disguise if they can stay moderately good when those guys get back. Man, Thornton could be kind of our third weapon. All right, we got to speed this up just a little bit, guys. We have 2 more games to get to. Colts and the Rams. We've got to feature this one because Danny Dimes is going to be the MVP of the Colts. And then the Rams, they blew it last week up 26-7. How do they bounce back? Raphael, start me off.
This number opened up at 4.5. Still no respect for the Colts because now it's 3.5. You know what number was over the summer when we put up odds for every week? The Rams were -6.5, closed at -7. Give me the 80-1 for Danny Dimes to win the MVP because I say upset on this one, and I can maybe cash my ticket now because the books will be begging for money out of that.
Wow. Daniel Jones at 4-0 just does not sound right to me. Something seems off when I say that. But, man, he's been so good. And he can thank Jonathan Taylor for all that success. 338 rush yards in 3 games and 3 touchdowns. The Rams did a phenomenal job against Saquon Barkley, though, limiting him to just 46 rush yards. And when the Eagles tried to get him the ball and throw to him, 4 catches for just 9 yards. Same game plan for Taylor, I think the Rams do. So, win or lose after week 4, we're going to see if Daniel Jones is for real.
This is right now the Colts are one of the best balanced teams. They're 9th in points allowed, 2nd in points scored. I think they get it done in Los Angeles. I think Jonathan Taylor still has a respectable game because you still have Daniel Jones who's passing right now, but he can also run the ball. I think that bounce is going to help them get that win in Los Angeles.
It's not about Daniel Jones. It's not about Matthew Stafford. It's about Kyren Williams and Jonathan Taylor, a battle of the running backs. And thank you, Eli Manning, for the curse of Eli, calling Daniel Jones the greatest quarterback in Colts history. I think Matt Stafford's going to have something to say about that and embarrass the Colts in Los Angeles.
All right. Finally, the football gods, they are, gentlemen, looking down upon us. Because in Peyton's neck of the woods on Sunday night, it's the Packers and the return of Micah Parsons to Dallas. And Raphael, tell the good people, what is that spread? Are my eyes? I mean, I have horrible eyes, but does that say 7?
It does say 7. One of the biggest bet games so far for this week. This number opened up. Everyone listen. -5. Are you crazy? I missed -5. I was probably on the air for somebody else and I missed a -5. This one will get all the way up to 7.5 or higher. This one's going to be one of the biggest heavy survivor pool team, teaser team, money line team. This number keeps on climbing.
The most overhyped game ever. Yeah, we're going to see Micah Parsons try and sack the quarterback. The Packers are going to dominate this game. Cowboys defense has allowed 748 passing yards the past 2 games, 12 pass completions over 25 yards the past 2 games, and they let Caleb Williams throw 4 touchdowns to receivers who were all open without a defender within 5 yards of them. And their defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, is getting absolutely cooked out there. The Cowboys stink, and they're really a terrible Russell Wilson pick away from being 0-3. Packers cover here for sure.
Yeah, the Cowboys defense is just one of the worst. It's just too bad they don't have some like game changer on that defensive line that could just do something for them. I don't know. But I think the way just how great the Packers are balanced with the run and the pass, I think last week against Cleveland was just a one-off. I think they get back to it, and I think they win.
I'll tell you guys what, you're going to see why I traded Micah Parsons because I got Dak Prescott who can lead me to whatever I say he can. No, the Green Bay Packers are going to run through the Dallas Cowboys. Jordan Love is going to look like Brett Favre and Peyton Manning had a child. It's not even close.
By the way, CeeDee Lamb is going to be out a minimum of 3 to 4 weeks, so the Cowboys will be without him against a Packers team that defensively has been pretty good, and I have a feeling they're going to come out pretty pissed off after just scoring 10 points against the mighty Cleveland Browns. All right, good breakdown. Keep an eye on those numbers throughout the week. Of course, Raphael will keep us up to date on any significant line movement throughout the week before we get to Thursday. I believe it's the Cardinals and the Seahawks this week, I think, for Thursday Night Football. All right, coming up on the other side, Micah Parsons. Are they going to roll out the red carpet for him this Sunday night? The answer might surprise you. It's Coach and Company on a Look Ahead Tuesday, presented by the 4-Letter Word Club right here on Stadium. business will continue to change the business?
I think it complicates the business, but at the end of the day, it's how do you reach consumers and how do the consumers respond to that reach? Can you still engage them? Sure, of course you can. Is there the ability to create a
All right, you can see that full episode Off the Ropes, channel 156, every single day, 2 to 4 Eastern time. We had Eric Bischoff on last week and then Kurt Angle. Gentlemen, real quick, I don't know if you guys saw this yesterday, but we're going to have a Ryder Cup episode, full preview coming up on Wednesday, by end of day Wednesday. Turn on your notifications. Did you guys see this? That Keegan Bradley took the entire team out to the first tee, no fans on the grounds, none. And they played the national anthem to just them and members of the team, of Team USA. Mikey, I'm going to start with you. It's one of the coolest things that I've ever seen. And they look ready, and it could be one of the best Ryder Cups we've ever seen.
When you get a moment like that, how can you not rise to the occasion? It definitely injects a lot of enthusiasm into this weekend, and I'm super excited to see what the team does.
Soupy, you live in the Northeast. Is there a fever right now for this Ryder Cup?
Every year, every time the Ryder Cup, you feel it, especially at the moment like that. This is what the best part about sports is. It's playing for your country, and that's what they're doing. I think this fires them up for this weekend.
Young Peyton, your thoughts? Because about 3 miles from where you live and go to school, the PGA of America is their headquarters, right?
Yeah, and I think the Ryder Cup is like the only, if you're not a golf guy, that's the only thing that you're like, okay, no, shut up. I'm watching the Ryder Cup this week. Like that's all you're gonna do, and that's what a lot of my friends are doing here. And we'll get up at like 6 in the morning and be like, okay, no, Ryder Cup on, let's go.
So I'm talking about. Raphael, are you into the Ryder Cup this year?
It's better than the Olympic golf. I love the Ryder Cup, especially on a betting perspective, because you have tons of prop bets and live betting to do.
Oh, maybe you could join me for our recap show that we're going to have Friday, Saturday, maybe, and Sunday. Sorry, NFL, I'm pushing you to the side this week. All right, we're back live. 5 seconds. Welcome back, everybody. Coach and Company here on Stadium, Bally Sports Live, YouTube, social media. We don't care how you digest us. We just care that you digest us. All right, we lock in our best bets coming up in about 5 minutes from right now. But, gentlemen, all the talk this week is going to be about Micah Parsons returning to Dallas. And, Raphael, we've already seen the number. So the other question was, how will Dallas honor him? How will Dallas say, hey, thank you for the memories. Thank you for the 2 all-pro seasons you had here. Jerry Jones says there will be no tribute video. He says he's not Emmitt Smith. That was a different situation. How did Emmitt Smith get brought into this? Your thoughts?
It didn't shock me. He just left like yesterday. It's not like he left 2 years ago and he's coming back. I think his locker's probably still not even being used. It didn't shock me, but he's not an offensive player either.
Young Peyton, you're in the Metro. What are we doing?
Well, when he was traded, everyone was like, oh, okay, this is so – everyone's really upset about it, right? Now it's like, okay, the Packers are absolutely dominating with him. Let him go be on a good team. He's a good guy. Let him just go dominate, Let him go dominate with a good team. But with the Cowboys, they were so bad. You can't even make tribute videos for how bad of a team he was. I don't care how good the guy was.
I was going to say he may be a Hall of Famer after another 7 or 8 years, but Soupy, not right now.
Not right now, but he's one of the best pass rushers in the league. And I think it's a little petty that Jerry Jones had to talk about it, for example. But, it just happened. And I think Jerry Jones is a little salty that he's saying that they were better without him, and they're not.
No, they're not. But Mikey, at least he's got number 4 that he raved about against your Bears when they scored 14. That may have been as delusional as him thinking that people think he's a good evaluator of talent. Your thoughts?
I think you guys are all missing the point here. A tribute video means highlights, which means Jerry would have to look up at the big board and go, oh, man, he made all those plays for us? Why did we trade him?
Wouldn't that be hilarious? I remember that one. We still didn't get into the playoffs on that one. The other part of this quickly, Raphael, is that the last time Jordan Love was in this stadium, I believe, the playoffs 2-3 years ago, they blew the doors off of the Cowboys. Those memories are going to be alive on Sunday night.
And the memories that bettors are going to think about that. I think that's why Packer money is just going to flood the windows in Dallas.
It feels also, Peyton, like it's a good teaser spot because if you bring it down, it would be to 1, and that's kind of the perfect number for a teaser, right?
Yeah, it is. 1 is a good number for a teaser, but I just think the Cowboys defense has been so bad, and the Packers offense was really slow last week. I think they're going to come out firing this week.
How much you taking into account, Subi, what happened last week with the Packers?
None. I like they say, it's any given Sunday. It was just a one-off. They underplayed the Browns. I think they come back for this game.
All right, Mikey, you cut that sound off for us. You cut the Packers head coach say, I get pissed off when we talk about the future. Well, the future is right here, right now. He's got to be in that locker room without cameras going, boys, let's do this one for Micah. Let's go out there and just beat the doors off this team. I could see that happening.
Well, the one soundbite I couldn't get into sound off today was Myles Garrett coming off the edge and the Packers tackle going, Jordan, run. Well, the good thing for the Packers is there's no Micah Parsons on the other side for Dallas because he's on your team. So when you look at the Dallas defensive pass rush, you're going to be like, Jordan, write a book, order dinner, take your time. Somebody's open downfield.
Oh, man. I don't like overs in Packers games because when they get a lead, they can milk that clock with Josh Jacobs. But damn it, every time the Cowboys play, I want to play the over until last Sunday.
Under money coming in right now.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it should. 7 points in the second half last week. What are we doing? All right. 6-4 yesterday. That means a winning day. I feel in my gut this week we're going to have 5 winning days in a row. Today, number 2. Let's lock it in. All right, 10 seconds or less, 1 or 2 nuggets is all that I need. Raphael, start us off.
Cubs Mets under 7.5. We'll lay to 3 nickels because the last 4 games Cubs have played, they've scored a total of 7 runs and the wind is blowing in. And then ladies hoops, playoff games. We'll take the Aces Fever. Both teams to score over 76.5. Fever averaging 80 points a game in the playoffs and the Aces 84 points per game. So I think we'll see a high scoring game in this one.
Soupy, let's come over to you.
Yankees on the run line. They have scored 6 runs in 5 of their last 6 games, going against Shane Smith, who has a 4.59 ERA on the road. And give me Gavin Williams, 6+ strikeouts. Last time he faced the Tigers, he got 9, and the Tigers' 8th worst strikeout rates in September.
What a series that's going to be to really decide the entire American League, whatever that is. What are they in? American League Central? Yeah, that's what it is. All right, Mikey P, let's go.
Well, the Mets could be free falling, so the Reds are balling. Give me Brady Singer on the mound against the Pirates for 6 or more strikeouts at a -113. Singer has hit that in 3 of his last 5 starts. And then give me the Mariners -1.5 on the run line. Mariners need to hold on to their 3-game lead in the AL West. They should beat up on the Rockies tonight.
Did you just say free falling ballin'?
Yep, I did.
Yeah, that's what I thought that you said. All right, Young Peyton, let's go.
It's like Marlins, Phillies first 5 under 4.5. Edward Cabrera, who's been really great this year. Phillies hitters just hitting 220 against him, and Christopher Sanchez, who, you don't need anything for Christopher Sanchez. He's an absolute Cy Young candidate. And Cole Reagan's going against the Angels. The Angels strike out more than anyone in baseball. 5 of their 9 hitters have barely seen Major League pitching. Take Cole Reagan's over strikeouts.
There are 6 late games tonight. So all you degenerate gamblers out there, you like to spread your money out throughout the night. Well, you've got 9 before 9 o'clock and you got 6 after 9 o'clock. That's gorgeous. That's awesome. You know what else is awesome? Our JTS play of the day. Marky Model, what do we got? Oh, no. What are we doing? I'll read it. What do you mean what are we talking about? You're on mute.
No, I wasn't.
Go, Mark. You're up.
We got Minnesota Lynx, Alana Smith to go over 10 points of rebounds. Something she's done in all 5 games she's ever faced Phoenix, where she's averaging over 15 combined. We're going to pair that with David Peterson to give up over 2 earned runs, something he's done in 4 of his last 4 starts and in 5 of his last 7 road night games. Put them both together, you get a plus 107, just Stat Sports Player of the Day.
Very good. And there is the QR code. Come be a part of what we're doing over at JTS. The first month you can get for a single solitary $1 if you use our code NFL100. All right, at the end of every show, we like to educate you just a little bit. Raphael, make me smarter.
We're going to Seattle because the Mariners have won 17 of their last 18 home games against teams with losing record. They've covered 7 out of their last 8 games on the run line. They're playing the Rockies today.
Ooh, and they have, when I look at the site that I use, and they have like the game and then the W's, it's just all W's and 1 loss. They lost to Kansas City. Everything else since September 6th has been a dub for Seattle. You talk about red freaking hot. They just swept the Houston Astros for battle of first place teams. This is a team I want to lock into. Maybe sprinkle a little bit on them to win it all. I think this year could be Seattle's team. Gentlemen, average job today.
Better than below average.
All right, give me that one shot. It's now time for all of you to go out into the world, for you to pay it forward, be nice to one another, be kind to each other, turn on your notifications, subscribe to both of our YouTube channels. Don't miss any of our content because we love doing it, and we love doing it for you. All right. Coach and Company podcast. I never promote it for whatever reason. 11:15 a.m. If I can keep my breakfast down. It's been a long hour, but we made it. And there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Tuesday tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire company, love them all. Raphael, Young Peyton, Marky Model, Mikey P, Soupy, producer man behind the scenes. I'm simply the coach. Trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you. So we're going with you. That's what we're all about. Coaching Company, presented by the 4-letter word club. Stadium, Valley Sports Live. Have a great day.